Have you ever met a toddler who memorized a grammar textbook before saying their first words? Exactly. And yet, that's how we're taught in languages in school. Conjugation charts, vocab lists, drills that feel more like punishment than progress. I used to believe fluency was something I could just unlock if I studied hard enough. Maybe if I memorized enough flashcards, I'd be able to speak. But in reality, I couldn't hold a real conversation. Sound familiar? But here's the thing. I was already fluent in English before I even realized it. As a kid, my mom would put me and my sister's favorite shows on TV, but always in English. Maybe we didn't like listening to something that we couldn't understand. We just wanted to watch TV, right? But over time, we started making connections through what we heard and what we saw. From context clues, we started taking from what we saw. We started repeating words that we probably didn't even know. But over time, things started clicking. Even so, here's what I think truly shaped my fluency in English. As a kid, my mom would take me and my sister to religious meetings. I grew up listening to people speak in a way that was very formal, very deep, and rich in words that I'd never heard in cartoons or TV. I didn't always know what was being said, but I heard it constantly. Serious conversations, emotional expressions, and meaningful stories. I used to watch videos and read through these complex words that I'd learned from context. I even had friends that were English speakers, and I held casual conversations with them since early on in my childhood. Without even trying, I was learning advanced English through real human connection, not school worksheets. And because that was the language I was constantly being surrounded by as a kid, I even learned to read in English before I even read in my native language. That's crazy, right? And here's the thing. Our brains are wired for immersion. Language isn't just vocabulary. It's patterns, tone, rhythm, culture, and emotion. This is why a baby doesn't need Duolingo. They're surrounded by language. They're constantly making connections. They live it. And it's not just with learning languages. Think about how people learn trends, memes, fashion, cooking. We don't take courses on them. We just absorb through immersion and exposure. Have you ever picked up a slang just by scrolling TikTok? All those weird memes, you just know them because you've been constantly exposed to them. That's immersion. Let's try something. I'm gonna say a phrase in another language. Maybe you've heard it, but I want you to listen to what I'm saying and try and understand from the way I say it or the expressions I use. Mamma mia! And here's another one. Namaste. Have you heard these phrases before? I'm pretty sure you have. So you might already get the gist of what I'm trying to say or what I'm saying means. That's what immersion has done to us. Through constant exposure of these phrases in TV or through social media probably, you already know what it means or what it wants to convey. So, how can we learn through immersion? There's many different ways. For example, if you want to learn a language, a very simple but important thing you can switch up on your phone is if you switch your phone's language to your target language. Maybe you don't understand anything that is on your screen, but because we have already been used to using our phone, maybe you know where certain things are, where certain buttons and what they mean. So you read what it says in the other language, and because you already know what it was in your language, you could probably make those two connections and understand that they connect together. You can watch shows or movies and with subtitles of your target language. This can help you better understand what it's saying. And even better if there's a dub in your target language. That way you hear it and you read it. Maybe you don't understand how to read, but I think that's the most important thing when you're starting to learn a language. So, language isn't about perfection, it's about connection. And fluency doesn't come from memorizing, it comes from living. So if you're trying to learn a language, don't just study it, live in it. Because language isn't a subject, it's a world. Thank you.